These two guys in front of me got a door wide and I, because my load's in Mexico. Because my load's in Mexico. Because my load's in Mexico. I get to sit here and wait for Laredo. Like, comment, subscribe. The bell's sleeping still. What's up, Mr. Chucker Will? How you doing? How you doing? Why you don't call me no more, man? What's up with that? You don't like me anymore? Did I offend you? Did I piss you off? Somehow, some way? That's right, ring that bell. What would sitting, oh, you know what? What would sitting in Laredo be without waiting for a load from Mexico? You're busy running loads. Get the hell out of here, man. They're what? Running what loads? My other buddy at Prime, he's been sitting, he gets 34s between every damn load he takes. It seems like. Everything's got way too much time on it. What, you busy? Are you training? You running a team truck? Is that what the dealio is? Ah, what's up, Hog Rider? I knew you'd like this hat when I bought it. I was, of course, trying to find one, not with a flat bill, because my head's too small now for a flat bill, but with the flatter bill. I was thinking about straightening this one out, but I wanted you to see it first. I just don't like them when they're this curved, because I just see too much of the edges, and I always feel like there's something coming at me from one side or the other. But we got this guy picking up, this guy's dropping off, but they told me that my load's still in Mexico, probably 2 to 3 more hours to get here. I mean, I can't say that I'm not surprised, because that's just the way Laredo goes if the load's not already here. But I'm a little disappointed. More than likely, this load will turn into a rush load to get it there by 8 o'clock. It's got to deliver 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, but the place is open all day, and reading the reviews, it's a first come, first serve between 8 and 2300. So I guess in reality, I ain't gonna worry about it. I don't really worry about it when loads pick up late. I don't give a fuck if they're gonna be delivered late, because you know what? It ain't my fault they picked up late. This ain't meat. This ain't ice cream. This ain't food. This is car parts and bullshit. I ain't busting. I ain't killing myself to get it on there on time. If it picks up late, the rate con sheet said must pick up by 12. No fails. So does that mean if it gets picked up after 12, I failed? No, it means they failed. Just took a load from Kansas to Florida. That's a decent paying load. You know, always going to Florida pays decent. Not really in dry van. The loads don't pay decent going to Florida. That's why you guys never see me go to Florida. I mean, they pay a little bit better, but they don't pay enough to merit going to Florida, because we don't have orange juice coming out of Florida. You know, even though the orange juice paid cheap, it at least pays you to get out of Florida. We don't have nothing like that, so we'll be stuck in Florida like a bunch of fucking dummies. Oh, you already pre-planned to go Florida to Colorado. That's another good paying load. Going to Colorado always pays good, so that's good. Good morning, Ian. How you doing? Hello, no, not teaming, no money in it right now. Oh, okay, so you're running all that solo? That's freaking sweet. So you're doing pretty good over there still. I had a couple people complaining about low revenue, especially a team truck, but yeah, no, it sounds like at least you're moving. I don't know whether you're doing good or not. That's your business, but yeah. I mean, we're doing all right, I must say, for this freight market. We're doing okay. Although this week is going to be one of the lowest weeks I've grossed since I've been with EOS. Monday, coming out of the house, we didn't get a load, so there went Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, what was it? Friday, we didn't get a load. Saturday, we didn't have a load. So our pay period's Monday. This picks up today, delivers Monday. So we only worked, what is that? 7, 6, 5, 4 days out of 4 days for the week. I don't know about Monday, but Friday we could have had a couple options of loads. They just didn't pay good enough. I was, in all honesty, I told her too, I said, if we don't get a decent load by the time you go home tonight, I'm just going home. We were sitting in Dallas, 250 miles from the house. I'm like, I'm going to just go home and start my, my vacation early, because I'm not going to haul freight for fuel. I'm not going to haul freight for fuel, and I'm not going to haul freight for fuel in a truck payment. There has to be meat on the bone. I can afford to pay the truck payment and not work. I don't like it, it fucks the savings account up, but I'm not looking to wear my truck out for no money. Remember, we're running this truck team. It's racking up miles, so we need to make sure the money is there when we're doing it. Your team revenue was $6K. Yeah, I just in my last video, I think they were a husband-wife team. They're staying out for a long time. They're not going home, and their I think last week was $7K. Jeremy wants to know, when are you coming back to Prime? As soon as Prime says it's okay. I'm sick of being responsible for a trailer, man. I really am. I don't know if I told you guys, but this new trailer that they gave me, or used trailer that they gave me, we put all my new tires on. All my new tires are junk. It's wore every fucking tire. They're all lumpy and jacked up. So now I've just ruined all the tires, and I'm expected to pay for the repairs on the trailer to make those tires good. Now, I told them when I first got the trailer, you guys know, it lost a wheel seal, and I told them, no, you're not going to hand me over a trailer that loses a wheel seal as soon as I drive it off the lot. So they paid for that. I told them that, they're going to need to, what's going on with this? They basically just said, well, they're going to try to get me a new trailer, brand new. But then they also said, on the other hand, it's going to cost more. Well, how much more is it going to cost? A few bucks more, okay. But we're talking hundreds of dollars more? No. So in reality, as much as I would hate to go back to reefer and trailer washouts and all of that, I think I would. I'm also thinking, well, what about Schneider? You don't have to pay for trailers at Schneider. What are they like? See, my big thing is I don't want to change companies into the worst. I don't want to do another USA deal. I know what I'd be getting into with Prime. So I think I'd be okay with that. $80.20 here with no trailer maintenance, but $600 a month rent, or $75.25 and no maintenance or rent. Covers trailers fully unless it's driver cost, honest policy. $80.20 here with no trailer maintenance, but $600 rent a month. $600 a month? See, I would do that. I would do the 80-20. Because one, you don't have no trailer maintenance, and it's only $600 a month. I pay, well, what about insurance? Because I pay just over $500 for trailer rent and insurance per week here. I think it's $523 or something like that. Better to deal with the devil you know than the one you don't. Yep. And you know, it's one of those things that if I ever did go back there, I would go back there with a whole different attitude, because you know what you're in for, you know what is out there. I'm just so hard trying to make it past this lull to where freight comes up, because trailer maintenance when you're making money is no big deal. But when you're not making money and you got trailer maintenance to take care of, no man, it's like bullshit. You don't want to do that. I mean, I'm not I'm complaining, but I'm not, I'm not in a woe is me, or I'm, doing anything. We're just talking. We're just chatting. Something to talk about. I'm not making any moves, not planning on making any moves. Fine, let me come back. So, yeah. Jeremy Brownhole says, I just feel running under a mega company with contract freight is the best because you have less stress. I don't know if I'd call it less stress. Well, here's the thing. You might have less stress as an owner-op because you've got them backing you in a million different ways, including if your truck broke down for over a week, they'd loan you a truck at no cost. But you have more stress with taking home time. Literally, I could literally send my fleet manager a message right now and say, hey, after I drop this load, I'm going home. She'd say, okay, let me get your load there. Prime, it was a week or 2 weeks. I can't remember what he wanted. Which is no big deal. In all honesty, giving a week's notice is not a big deal, because if it was an emergency, they would get you home. Their biggest thing was, just so you know, when you're getting home in an emergency, your freight's going to be crap. Well, freight's always crap going home. Unless you get a good paying load going to the house and you're not going home, it was just a fluke, and then you say, hey, since I'm going to be home and I got a good paying load going there, I'm going to take home time. That's the only way you're going to get a good paying load going home. Now, before Jeremy Brownheim, what is your name? Brownheim? Says, when we had the Costco load to Montana, it was always good paying. Yeah, you ain't got that shit no more, boy. You were lucky because it was a load going to the middle of nowhere that needed to be ran. So yeah, it was a good paying load. It's like people who live in Florida, they get a good paying load going home, but it sucks coming out. What was your load like coming out? Exactly. Enough said. Tim says, you broker your own freight and send him the rate con. Once you sign it, he covers all trailer insurance. Yeah, it sounds like a good deal. The problem is you go over there and then something happens and it goes to shit, and now you're stuck at it. I don't want to put another company under my belt on an unsure market where things seem to be getting a little bit worse than better. What's up? How do you say your name? Ega? Or is it Ega? Ega, I think. Or is it just EGA? Hell, I don't know. Jeremy says, you know my situation, I'm still here. Yeah, that's true. I'm watching these guys load and unload like freaking, I'm waiting for a door. Like, oh, once one of them mounts, I get a door. Dude, why are you even bothering? You ain't gonna get a door? Shit, you ain't got no, they gotta wait until the shit comes from Mexico, man. At least I had a good cup of coffee this morning. That's always a plus when you wake up to a good cup of coffee. And at a TA, it's always a hit and miss whether the coffee's going to be any good or not. Sucks to be Melissa because she's going to be waking up to shit Insta coffee I did get her a barbacoa taco from TA. She likes those. So when she wakes up, she at least has that. Trucker Will says you have to honestly ask yourself, is orange worth the squeeze over there? Are getting 72% of the load teaming, knowing the freight market, and you're getting contracted freight right now. The problem if what I'm hearing is going on over there, although I don't have a lot of data, I'm doing better over here. Or I would be doing the same, sometimes better, sometimes the same. One of the problems is over here I have too much freedom. I'm taking way too much time off. Now what's going on now is, yeah, we're in the middle of a move and finding a house and everything, so it's to be expected. It's winter time. This is when I want to take all the time off. But, you know, this last year, we were going home every 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, come on, you can't do that and make good money. Your week going home, you're not making good revenue. Your week home, you don't make shit. And then we stayed home for 10 days at a time. Week coming back, you don't make good revenue. So I have 1 good week, 2 good weeks, and I'm doing the process all over again. So me having a little bit lower revenue over here is on me. You know, now, if freight was probably better, I probably would, you know, be more apt to stay out longer because making the good money. But Ben, what is happening, man? Ben says my load of water heaters in El Paso didn't make it across this week. That sucks. Damn, Mexican-made water heaters. Do they make anything in the good old USA anymore? Jeff Wilson says, I'm home 2 days every week at Prime. Jeff, then you ain't making good money, bro. I mean, you ain't gonna, there ain't nothing that would convince me you're making good money other than 8 consecutive weeks of your pay statements showing you're making good money. But we know you ain't. Now, it might be good money to you, but now that wouldn't be good money to me. There ain't no way you can work 5 days a week and make what I'm looking to make. No hate on you. I mean, everybody has their number they need to make. Everybody has their goals. My goals are this. I mean, and guys, let me tell you this. I could do just fine with this, but my goals are this. I mean, it don't matter whether you're dedicated or not. Working 5 days a week in the trucking industry, your money's going to be down. You're not working 2 days a week. It might be good money, but not the money I'm trying to make. I'm trying to get up here. I'm trying to make this. And the only way you're going to make this is you get out here and bust your ass 7 days a week, at least 6 weeks at a time. Mark my words. This summertime, come March, we're out 6 weeks at a time, period. We got to bust ass this next year, 2024, because the truck's being paid off in December of 2024. And once the truck's paid off, then we can start relaxing a little bit. We shouldn't be relaxing before the truck's paid off. It's a big ass truck payment. Once the truck's paid off, I want to get about $30K in the E-fund for any devastating engine problems or anything. And then we can start relaxing a little bit. You know, but we can get $30K in the E-fund in 6 months. You should look into buying a FedEx ground route, locked in rate and miles. I didn't know you can buy a ground route. I didn't know FedEx sold routes. That's weird. You're right, Jeff. I could be wrong. You could be on a fucking high val dedicated, which, I mean, yeah, but what's the chance of, anybody getting that? That was a luck of the draw thing. If you're on a really good dedicated home every week and making good money, that was a luck of the draw thing. That's not something that you're gonna find that easy. You're gonna have to wait for somebody to retire out of something like that. And if that's what you're doing over there at Prime, I would keep my mouth shut. Just because you don't want people getting a hold of their fleet manager. Hey, Jeff Wilson has got this shit. Why can't I get it? And start this kind of shit. Next thing you know, well, we're sorry, Mr. Wilson. We got to pull you off of that because blah blah blah, and we're a fair company. So I would zip that shit. 100%. I don't share a lot of work stuff with you guys when things, when I was on high vals and shit like that, I wouldn't share that shit because we weren't supposed to. I know a certain truck driver that wears a hat similar to this, that has similar goatee and whatnot, that used to sit and tell you guys that they're on $4 or $5 a mile high val loads over there at Prime, bragging about that shit. Bragging rights isn't, and I'm not saying you're bragging, Jeff, I'm talking about this other driver. Bragging about shit like that does you no good when you use your real name or people know your name. They know your truck number, they know your driver code because you're up there begging for fucking referrals constantly. And then you sit and brag about doing this, that, and the other, how you're treated a certain way, is stupid. Because you're going to get people up their fleet manager's ass. Hey, this ain't fair. How come this guy's getting $5 a mile loads and I'm not? What's up with that? Hey, it's not fair. What's this? Hey, you got to remember, there's a bunch of that's me, sorry, millennials in trucking right now. Not all millennials, but most of them are damn crybabies. I don't know if Gen Zs are old enough to truck yet, but just wait until Gen Zs get in there. Holy mother of Lord cigarette. I can't even imagine what truck is going to be like when Gen Zs get in here. Oh, please God, let me be retired by then. Again, not all Gen Zs, the majority. There's always a handful of good guys. They're in their late 20s. What the hell? That means they're here. No wonder why trucking's fucking falling apart. Trucker Will says, wouldn't you save money using Prime fuel discount? Yeah, a little bit. I get a pretty good fuel discount with the company I use for fuel. Problem is you got to pay in advance, and so you gotta basically front the money for fuel. And I haven't been using that the last couple weeks because of all my home time. I've just been using the company's fuel service, which, yeah, isn't that great of a discount at all, but I knew I was going home in a week, and by the time I replenished it, because I forgot to replenish it, it takes a week for them to replenish it. It takes, like, if I pay for it today, it takes a week before I get that money, unless I use a credit card. If I use a credit card, they charge you 5% or some bullshit like that, or 10%, something, which doesn't make it worth it. So I use ACH transfer, which takes 5 days. But yeah, I'd save on fuel at Prime. I'd save on trailer at Prime. My truck insurance would be a lot cheaper. There's a lot of benefits to it. There's a lot. My weekly, if I remember right, my weekly fixed cost is about $400 more here a week. Three something more here a week. actually more than that, because my truck insurance does not come out of my paycheck, so it doesn't go into my weekly fixed cost. So that's going to be about $400 a week more here than at Prime. Now, let me, I said it, let me say this. I'm supposed to be making a lot more money here, and what you normally would, but as soon as I came over here, the spot market was starting to decline, and as soon as I came here, I think I made good money the first couple weeks, and then it just fell, okay money, and then it just nosedived, and no, it's been a struggle ever since. It's been a struggle the last year. I think most weeks I'm averaging, or I'm not averaging. I think most weeks I'm breaking even to what I would have made at Prime, if not a little bit more. The problem is I have more risk because I got this trailer where I'm constantly buying tires and repairs on. So, in essence, that's not what I'm trying to say. I think if I was back at Prime, I think I would feel a little bit safer, and I think I would probably do the same money-wise. I think it would just be a little bit safer and like a coming home type deal. But again, Prime don't want me, so there is no going back to Prime. I'm just talking, and I don't know. I'm hoping things pick up in the spot market. And then going back to Prime right now, if their freight's garbage, then what's the point? Although I need batteries for my truck, so I got to start looking for batteries. Anyone know where you can get a good deal on batteries? Truck stops or anything? I need to get batteries, 4 batteries. I can install them myself, so if anyone knows Napa or something where they're a good deal. I know I called AutoZone, and they were more money at AutoZone than they were at Love's. Trucker Will says, what's my definition of good money? My definition of good money, I'm not going to give you a number, but I gotta be able to pay everything, and put at least $1,000 in my savings, $500 into an e-fund, $1,000 into my other savings, so $2,000. So I got to be able to pay everything, put a couple thousand into savings, put money into an e-fund, and put money, $500 into it's by mileage, so it's going to be anywhere from $200 to $500 into a maintenance fund. I have an e-fund and a maintenance fund. Plus, and then we live off Melissa's paycheck because I pay her really well. So you can see I'm striving for way up here. That's we're talking about $3,000 of, we'll call it play money, because it's above everything I need. So I need to be able to, and that's what I want to, that's when I'm like, oh, okay, we did okay. Obviously I want to do more than that, but I'm not going to give you a number because the number's different all the time. It just depends on what your fuel costs, what your, all kinds of things are. We haven't made that criteria in a few weeks now because of all the home time we've taken. I'm going to probably delete this video. I think I gave too much money information. I feel like I did. Come on, Mexico trucks, get over here and bring my freight. 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 Looks like everyone's tandems are slid back, so I'll have to remember to slide my tandems when I get a door. Now you can buy other fleet owners' FedEx routes, or you wait for the terminal to need capacity. Okay, See, I looked into FedEx was hiring a couple years ago, terminal to terminal in Houston, and I looked into it. You know, it was for a team truck, and I think it was going to be pulling doubles. And I looked into it. The problem is if we're slow, you're going over the road. We expect you to chain up. Whoa. Pull it in neutral, fucking slam it into reverse, and back me the hell out of here. Because I ain't chaining up. I don't give a what other people do. I ain't doing it. I'm not. No, trucking tries to kill you constantly. I'm not going to give it more ways to kill me. It tries to kill me enough already. So why give it one other way that I can avoid? No, not doing it. I wouldn't even chain up if Melissa wasn't on the truck. I ain't doing it. Now, I would probably get myself into a situation where I might have to get out of it, but I'm not going to willingly do it. You know, I'm not going to go into it. I'm almost out of coffee. That's going to suck. They said 2-3 hours. I mean, I guess I could leave and come back if we wanted to. Duh. There was a Valero truck stop right up the street. You can get assigned routes. You're talking about unassigned. They call that wild. Okay. Are you on one of those, Ben? Or how do you know about that? See, Melissa don't want a truck. She's only going to be good for trucking for another year, so I won't be running team truck after that. So that wouldn't, getting a FedEx account ain't going to work, especially if I have to buy it from somebody. I can only imagine the pain in the ass that must be to go buy a route from somebody. I like easy shit. That's the other thing that was so nice at Prime. Everything was easy. Easy peasy. They take care of everything. And, you know, in my early Prime videos, I told you guys about this. When I originally went to trucking, I wanted nothing to do with leasing because I owned a business for 18 years. I was sick of dealing with owning a business. I don't want none of that headache. I went to Prime for a year and a half, and seen how easy it was to lease. So I went lease, and I couldn't believe how easy it was. It was just fucking easy. And now I do this, and now it's not hard, but there's a lot more involved that I have to do compared to when I was at Prime. Yes, I think I would go back like that. I mean, just to get back into that ease factor of not having to deal with all the bullshit that you got to deal with as an owner-operator. Now, having said that, I know you guys are going to be like, but David, it's not really that much. I do it all the time, blah, blah, blah. Hey, where'd this guy get food from? Is there a roach coach out there? I mean, I'm not hungry. I'm just saying. He probably ordered from Uber Eats or something. But the thing is this isn't hard. It's I just don't want to. I just don't want to. Okay, I seen that, Tim. I want things to be easy. I'm sick of dealing with stuff. I mean, I'm not that old, but I feel like I'm that old. I feel like I just need to slow things down and let somebody else deal with the bullshit. My whole life I've been self-employed, my whole fucking life. And when I wasn't self-employed, my first 14 years of being in, and put it that way, 12 or 13 years of working, making money to survive off of, I wasn't self-employed. After that, I've been self-employed ever since. I'm tired of it, and leasing over at Prime was so easy. I mean, so easy. It was like not even being self-employed. It was just easy. I would hate to have to overrule the wife. And, if Prime called me and said, yeah, you want to come back, we're hiring. I think I would overrule it because I was joking with her, and I told her Prime called and said we can come back, and in March, and she was like, "Eh," but when she thought I was joking, but when I told her I was serious, she said she'd actually think about it, because she's been so dead set against no way, because she likes how unstressful it is to, not have to fill trailers or get washouts or anything. But I would hate doing the washouts all the time, although I'm more apt to blow out trailers now, because drive-in, I've been doing it all this time. I don't know why when I was at Prime I was so leery about blowing out a trailer. Now it's like no big deal. So I'd probably blow them all out unless it had blood in it or something, or nastiness. So it'd be less of that. But the washout, when you get a washout, you can get your truck washed. It'd be like, yes. And you don't have to pay for the I got to pay for the trailer wash on this. Every time I go to the truck wash, it's over $100. And I don't get my truck washed as much because I don't go to the washout as much, because one, we're always such under the gun on expedited loads that you can't wait in line. Man, these motherfuckers got tacos. What a bunch of bull. I wonder if he'll go give me a taco. I wonder if I went over there and asked him if he'd give me a taco. I bet you he would. I bet you $10 if I went over there and asked him for a taco, he'd give me a taco. I mean, I'm not going to, but I bet you he would. I talked to those guys earlier. They were both really cool. They didn't do the typical, I don't understand you. They we communicated, and they were cool about stuff. Ben, you're killing me, man. Oh, man. See, I'd love a solo day cab route once I retire. That's something I might look into. But I ain't ready to get off the road just quite yet. Ben says, no, I'm at Landstar and I like it, but if I expand to a bigger fleet, that's where I'm going. Okay. Just Google FedEx ground line haul routes for sale. Okay. In Texas. Jeremy says, not saying you're in the wrong on what you want or expect every week in net money, but the reality of trucking, and I don't care who you are not going to net 8K or more every week. Well, no, you won't net 8K or more every week, but I don't need to net 8K. But you can buy solo day. Okay, I read that. Bucket Ferry? What's up, man? Good morning. Billy just decided, fuck you, I'm going to bed. I'm going to be a bum with mommy. She's probably curled up on her head. I don't know. I know I expect to make too much money, but that doesn't mean I'm not happy with making less money. I just want to make that more money. I mean, I understand right now. And again, guys, a lot of my complaining, when I complain, oh man, it's blah, 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 you got to remember, it's partly due to myself for going home so much. You can't go home every 3 weeks to make money. Not for 10 days. I mean, not even for a couple of days if you do it that frequently, because the week you go home and the week you come out are likely not to be good weeks. So going home for a week is going to screw up 3 weeks. And I know this for a fact because I do it and I see it happen. Rarely coming out of the house do I have a great week. It's normally a good week. Rarely going home, I don't think ever going home have I had a great week. It's always been because you're heading somewhere, you have to go somewhere. I don't know why, but it shows only my chats on my end here. Maybe you have it under the there's a thing on there where you can change what you see, and you might have it set for your chats only. Why do I have heat here? Oh, My freaking key was turned on. I can feel heat blowing out of my vent. Jeremy says, totally agree. That's why I stay out 2 months. Jeremy, we both know why you stay out 2 months at a time. Tim says, in my opinion, if you're not seeing the rates and negotiating with the brokers, then you're leaving money on the table. Yeah, I mean, that could be the case. I don't agree with that. I have somebody negotiating the rates for me. I have somebody being able to talk to brokers I can't talk to because I don't have access to these load boards. And I tried looking them up, and my company's right. They're not accessible to just anybody. You got to be part of a group. You got to pay a lot of money to be in this group, and so on and so forth. So, well, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, when you're on I mean, I did the DAT board for a little bit, and it was a pain in the ass. Again, I don't want to deal with that crap. I don't want to have to call brokers and negotiate and all that shit. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I dealt with it for a very short time. It was a pain in the ass. I don't want to do it. Will I do it if I had to do it? Yeah, I'd do it if I had to. Can I negotiate? Yeah, I can. But for me to just go on load board 1, 2, 3, DAT board, and all these boards that you can get, none of them have the expedited or dedicated to expedited for the team truck. Yeah, you can do team loads and they pay okay, but they don't pay what we get on an expedited load. Yeah, I know, Dog Rider. You're right. I did, and I'm doing it. I mean, a lot of people want something, they try it, and, you know, I'm not saying that I'm not going to continue doing this. I'm continuing doing this. Check your name, Tim. Yeah, you pay for, that's what I was paying for the DAT board. But the DAT board does not have the expedited loads that we are dealing with. We're dealing with Panther loads. We're dealing with, God, what are the other loads? I mean, you see some of that on there, but we're dealing with all these team dedicated expedited loads. Just-in-time freight that needs to be picked up and delivered. I mean, you have no time to do it. It's got to be a team truck. They got to have full hours. We're dealing with mail, U.S. mail loads, you know, things like such. I don't know if mail loads are on the regular DAT board or not, but I know a lot of these loads that we deal with are not on. I've never seen them on DAT. I look at the DAT board all the time because I want to kind of see what's going on it, and it's, you know, all the same brokers I see on there for the most part, and none of them, you know, none of the brokers a lot of the ones we deal with are even, you know, on there. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's working for you. You're a solo truck. Remember, solo and team is different. Solo and team is different. There's 1,000 solo loads. There you go. Here you go. When I was finding my own loads, there's 500 solo loads to one team load on the DAT board. You know, so that's the other thing you're forgetting, Tim, is I'm not solo. I was telling Jeremy, not the other day, but a couple of times I've mentioned, if I was solo, I would go ahead and go to the DAT board and pick my own loads, because you can. I mean, there's a shitload of solo loads on there. But as a team truck, it's different. It's not going to work for me to just go on the DAT board. I'm not going to make the money I'm making letting my dispatcher do it. And if they're taking money and skimming it and screwing me and all that, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. Now, I have talked to brokers before where because a lot of these brokers will call me, hey man, are you, you got a teammate, let me hear their voice, or da-da-da-da, this, that, and the other. And I've mentioned to them, hey, you know, this load is only paying this much money. Are you, I mean, and I'll come up with some bullshit, you know, it's got this, that. I go, you know, we can't get a few more dollars out of this load? I mean, what's up? No, that's all we got. Also, when I was doing that dedicated mail load, I told him after we ran it a couple times, because he'd call and ask questions. I talked to him. I said, look, man, you can see we're doing a good job for you. I go, this $2,800 is not, I think we should be able to get, $3,000 out of this at least. We're busting our ass for you. And his exact words is, man, 28 is all we got in this. He goes, I just picked up this account. We're trying to show them we can do it. Da 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 da. So I've mentioned to brokers how much loads they're paying me, and not one of them have ever said, well, what do you mean? We paid $3,000 for that load, or $5,000. So I don't think they're skimming. Now, you can come in and say, oh, well, they probably have deals with these brokers, and they probably tell the broker how much they're paying you, and yada, 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 but I don't think it goes that deep. And if it, like I said, if it does, it does. There ain't nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to, I get a rate con sheet. Did they change it? Did they doctor it? Did they white out what it is? Put it in, thing and change it? They're going through all that shit. They're fast at it, because a lot of times they're like, hey, you want this load? Yeah. They'll come back, okay, we got it. Here's the rate con sheet, and they send it over. Now in 5 minutes, could they change it? I'm sure they can, but you know what? If they're fucking like that, then shame on me. They seem 100% up and up. Everything I've dealt with them, again, this company, to me, is a great company, the way they treat you. Always seem to be up and up and up and up. If they aren't, they aren't. I don't know. So what I don't know won't kill me, right? I try not to assume people are bad until they prove it to me. Now, unfortunately, I'll look at somebody and I'll definitely judge them by what they look like and assume they're a bad person, but I try not to. I see team-only loads on DAT all the time. My carrier could probably assist with finding expedited freight. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Yeah, there's team loads, but they pay like shit compared to what I'm getting. And there's one team load per 50 solo loads. Ow. Itchy eye. They're there. They're just not plentiful like they are through my... and then you're telling me your carrier could probably get me extra. Well, that's what mine's doing. So wouldn't it be the same thing? Albert says, hey, you looking great. Last time we connected was 50 pounds ago for both of us. Well done on you. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Thanks, Albert. Thank you very much, and congratulations. 50 pounds, man. Right on. Hell yeah. I'm maintaining, guys. I'm maintaining. I'm happy with that. Every time I go home, I check my weight on the same scale, and make sure I'm within the same fluctuation. And it seems like I'm always 187. I would panic if I got over 190, and I would panic if I got below 180. So I've been maintaining 187, so that's been a good thing. It's been a good thing. What are these guys pulling out from under their trailers for? That was a long time. Oh, they're swapping. What, are they really fucking swapping trailers after backing in? That's bizarre. Yeah, they sure are. They're like buddies. They've been talking to each other. The one guy got food and fed the other guy. Do they know each other, or is it just because they're from the same company? QL Logistics. Let's see, Kentucky. Oh. They're out of Laredo, Texas. Okay, I thought that was a Mexican company, but no, those are Laredo, Texas trucks. Oh, wait a minute. No, they got Mexican. They got a Texas plate and a Mexican plate. They must be able to go right across. They must be contracted to go across the border, because their MC numbers are U.S. numbers. I don't see any Mexican MC numbers on there. Wouldn't they have to have both if they went in? Unless they had them and I didn't see them, because they got a shit pot of numbers about you. Fucking AD. But yeah, I mean, I hear you, Tim. I hear you. I think if I were to leave this company, I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere where I don't have to pay for the trailer. At least not maintenance and tires. I mean, I'll pay rent on a trailer, but I don't want to pay maintenance and tires. I'm done with that. Um, and I want to have to do less work than more work. So as of right now, in 3 months I might change my mind and be like, I got to go get me on the load board somewhere and blah, 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 blah. You just don't know. But I'm just worn out. I think a lot has to do with the kind of money that's been coming through. It wears down on you. I've been spending a lot of money and not bringing in a lot of money, so that just wears down on a person. I bought a Jeep, bought a motorhome, sold the motorhome, bought a Hummer, sold the Hummer, bought a pickup truck. Because things change. We made these plans and they fell apart, so we had to make new plans. The motorhome was kind of we didn't want to because we always thought what a expense, but we were like, you know what, maybe it would be a good idea. We knew better than buy a motorhome. We were gonna just buy a pickup truck and throw a Lance camper on it like we used to have, and we fucking decided to get a motorhome. What a joke! I'm glad that's over with. I'm glad that's over with. But yeah, if there was, I would definitely be interested in picking my own loads, Tim, if I had access to all those expedited load boards. But there's several of them. A shit ton of them. Because I've asked my dispatcher before, well, what boards are you looking at? What's their names? And she's named off like 10 of them. And I tried finding them, and you just can't. They're just not available with apps and stuff. They're, you got to be part of their program. Is this a Mexican truck? Laredo, yeah, Mexico. Oh, this is a U.S. and Mexico truck. He's got both. Don't hit me, bro. Maybe he's bringing my load. Nah, he's empty. Unless they cut his seal off over there. He ain't got no seal or nothing. Fuck. I think he's parking too, waiting. What are you gonna do, What are you gonna do? Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the bell. Oh, Trucking with David H on Facebook.